Okay, so now we have a reverse shell with local admin on a server. So what do we do after that? What should we do? Well, what you should do first is we need to go ahead and delete that the track. So we need to go ahead and try to delete that file, that payload that we uploaded, because now that service that we took over, it won't work. So that website that they're running with the Abby server is gonna stop working. So the first thing that I like to do, or one of the first things that I like to do, is I need to go ahead and delete my tracks. So if we do a CD in here, then we do the dir, and we want to go a CD to the program files. I believe that's where it is. So CD, you want to put it in quotes, otherwise, because we have a space in here. Awesome. dir, and here it is, CD dir, and here is our payload. So we want to go ahead and remove that because we want to get rid of all the tracks that we have in here. I don't want them to find that. So let's go ahead and do rm. Rm is not del. There we go. That has been removed. So dir. So it is gone. So now we are, getting rid of our tracks, right? We don't want to leave stuff all over the place. So the second thing that I want to establish is I want to establish persistent, right? I do have, I do have a reverse shell, but it's not as good as I wanted. So one of the first things that I like to do is I like to go ahead and create a user. So net user. Let's go ahead and make this bigger for you guys. Zoom in. There we go. So to create a user from a local user from the CMD, you want to do a net user, and then you want to specify whatever username you want to give it, and then you want to specify the password that you want to give it, and then you want to say add to add it. And then after that, I want to add this local group to the administrators. So I want to add my user to the administrators group. There we go. I spelled that wrong. The user that I added was Rabba, not Rada. So let's go ahead and BA, then add. Awesome. So I am now a local admin with that Rabba user. Another one is you want to add for the remote management users, and this one is so I am able to use WinRM and net local group, and then we can put this in here. Awesome. So there we go, completed. So now I have some persistent. Now I have a user in there that I can use. So now what I like to do is I want to go ahead and go to Empire, and from Empire, let's see what we can do. From Empire, do I want to get a shell from here? I don't really need this anymore because I am a local admin, and I won't need this anymore, right? Before I do that, because you never know, let's go ahead and test my user, the user that I just created, and see if I'm able to get with this user, evil WinRM. Always test before, whenever you have a shell and you create a user, always test the user to see if you're able to do whatever you want. Because if it doesn't work, and if you got rid of the shell, then you're toasted. So not capital I 192 168 that 1.55. There we go. Establishing connection to remote endpoint. So we want to make sure that this user over here works. It should work. So I added him to the administrators and also to the remote management users, right? Successfully to the remote management users. And there we go. So this one works. Okay, so that's good. So now, you know, we don't need this reverse shell anymore. We can get rid of it because this one is also stopping the Avis web server, and we just want to go ahead and exit out of here so they don't think that something's going on, right? That's what you want to do. So now we do have access to the Raba user, and that user has local admin access. So therefore, what can you do from here? Well, we can just go ahead and go in here in Empire, and we want to establish, you know, we want to have we want to zoom in, and we want to go to the listeners. I'll use listeners, HTTP, and let's go ahead and go info. I want to set the name to Raba. Let's just say Raba student for that student server, and the host is fine. The ports set. We want to set the ports 24449. That's good. Then you want to go ahead and execute that bad boy. And also, after you execute it, you want to go use, what is it? Use stager. Okay, well you have to go back first. You need to get out of that listener, and you want to use stager, because we are going to use a stager, and it's going to be the Windows launcher bats file, and we are going to use, or we want to set the listener to Rabbi student, right? We name it to that. So I'm going to tell her that my stager, I want to use this listener. And what else do we need to do over here? I think that's it, right? I also want to go into the I want to do sudo. I want to do a root over here, and I want to seed into the temp directory and remove launcher .bat unless it's not in there. There's nothing in there. Okay, cool. So we can go ahead and then execute this, and it's going to save it over here, right? So let's see, it is MC bypass, obfuscate command, and this looks good. Let's go ahead and execute it. So we have saved that stager, right, that file in the temp directory. So if we go into the temp directory and we do an ls now, we can see it in here. So now what we're going to do, we have a session with WinRM. What we're going to do is we're going to upload it. Upload. And what do we want to upload? We want to upload this file, this stager file that we created, and we want to go ahead and save it in here. And we are going to call it launcher.bat. Uploading launcher.bat. Successful. And also, just telling you something, since we have done this before, one of the things, if you have, whenever you get a local admin access, if you haven't disabled the firewall and disabled the antivirus, those are the first two things that you want to do. Because I've done it before on previous video, I'm not really doing it again. So that's something that you really want to keep in mind. So after you get admin access, you want to remove, or at least what you want to do is you want to exclude. You want to create a folder and then exclude that folder from being scanned with the antivirus, and that should be enough. So that way you don't have to disable the antivirus. Okay, that's another way to do it, or a better way, a cleaner way to do it, because sometimes companies have alerts. So whenever their let's say Defender goes down, or whatever antivirus they're using goes down, they might get an alert, and then they're gonna come here and see that somebody has hacked your server. So something better to do. Okay, so here it is, the launcher. So what do we want to do? This one has been executed. Let's go ahead and go back, and now what we're going to do is we are going to get a reverse shell with the Rabbi user, which is a local admin user. So if we do go to this location and execute it, we should get a reverse shell to Empire. We should. And there it is. Sending PowerShell stager 1 to 192.168.1.55. New agent. That is the name of the agent. We want to rename that agent. Checked in. Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump to the agents menu. Here we go. So we want to rename Z to Raba on the student server. Student. Okay. Info. Can we do info list? There we go. So here it is, Raba stud. Okay. So awesome. So now what can you do? You want to interact with that Raba student agent, and if you do who am I, that's going to send a task, and we should be getting that we are a student. In the student server, we are the Raba user. So awesome. This is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this video.